Hey guys, so it is February 14th, 2024, and it's been a while. We are starting our spring garden, getting the greenhouse filled up, and I wanted to share what we have started for our 2024 spring garden. But before I do that, and show you what's in the greenhouse, I wanted to catch you up on what I have started already in my garden, in my greenhouse, for the 2023 fall/23 spring garden and my cool weather crops. So I will share that with you real quick, and then we'll get into what we're about to start in the greenhouse tour about what's going on right now on February 14th and possibly even what's going on in the garden. Okay, so most of these I've started in 2023, or I started them back in January and December for the spring garden. For the cabbages, I've got the Caribbean Queen. It is a flat cabbage. We did some Bobcat, which is a tight round cabbage, and we did those in the fall. And I just started the fiddler kraut not long ago for the spring garden. And we did some Georgia collards, the Georgia Southern Creole collards, and we did several mustards. We did the Southern Giant Curled Mustard and this new Chinese Giant Leaf Mustard from Baker Creek. And I can tell you that this Giant Curled Mustard doesn't seem like it's that huge. It is a good size. I've been eating off it and canning it for a little while now, a few months. We planted it back in October, but this Giant Leaf Chinese is definitely Giant Leaf, and it's a softer mustard. And so to begin with, back in the early fall, I was having some pest damage, but once it cooled off, it really started doing good for me. And then I got some of the Japanese Giant Red Mustard. I get these in these microgreen packs that I sow, and I just get some here and there, but I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of these because they are very, they're something that I look for, and they're very delicious. They are very spicy, so I like to add these to my salads. So we went ahead and got a whole pack just of those just to make sure we got plenty of those. And then we did several cauliflowers. I didn't start any of these back in the early fall in October, but we have started a lot back in January. We have the robber, a purple of Sicily, and a green Majorata. These germinated very well and are pretty healthy plants. They're about 4 inches tall right now. I just planted a lot of these out into the garden beds. And then on the broccoli, we did two types of sort of rapini broccolini, which is the Yod Fa and the rapini. Didn't get a lot of these to germinate, so I don't have that many going out in the garden. But we just have a few of those because once it gets closer in the spring, we won't be able to do full heads of broccoli without them going to seed. And then we did the Tronchuda kale, which is just a big leafy kale. And for more kale, we did the Japanese flowering, which I only got a few of those that germinated, and they're still very small. And I just did those for spring interest, as far as for the flowering interest. And then we did some red Russian kale, some scarlet kale, lacinato kale, and the dazzling blue, just a mixture of those. And then we did some Bright Light Swiss chard, and also did some ruby, just a plain ruby one as well, back in the fall. So I've been eating off of these. And we've done several radishes. I'm going to be planting more of these purple plum radishes, but so far out there we have salad rose, early scarlet, crimson giants, and the French breakfast. And I've also direct sown some beets just recently, that they're only about 1 inch tall so far. And then for the carrots, I did sow some of the purple carrots out in the beds, but they didn't germinate very well. So I got these for my daughter for Christmas, and I've sowed these pelleted carrot seeds in my new green stalk that I also got for Christmas. And then we have done some of these Olympia spinach in the cells in the greenhouse, so we're just starting to get some. I also did some of these in fall, and I only got about 4 plants that I have out in my beds right now. But we did, have started to get some for spring. And so the microgreens, you can get these at Family Dollar or Dollar Tree. Dollar General has them too. It's just a 5-gram packet of mixed greens, which they're marketed as microgreens, but you can grow them to full-size plants just like regular seeds. And in here, for $1, you get 5 grams of Red Express cabbage, lacinato kale, tatsal, mustard, black knight, cabbage, pak choy, and Mizuna mustard. And I've gotten more than just those out of these varieties. So I love to pick these up and collect these because I get a ton of mixed greens that I just sow them in seed cells and then plant them out in my garden, and I'll have a whole bed full of mixed greens. This hot one contains Purple Wave, mustard, Mizuna, Line Stream mustard, tatsal mustard, red Ursula kale, kohlrabi. I haven't gotten any kohlrabi out of these mixtures yet, but like I said, sometimes you'll get more varieties, sometimes you'll get less. But these are a great thing to pick up if you want to have a very economical way to grow an entire garden full of mixed greens to have in your garden. If you just like going through and picking all the different varieties of kales and mustards and everything to put in your salads and to make greens with. So, let's see what we got left. We did igloo lettuce, which this is kind of a, it reminds me of a not an iceberg, but sort of in between an iceberg and a leaf lettuce. So it's a real crisp lettuce. It grew very well. I would definitely grow that again. And we did another one called Tahama, which was really crisp like that too. And then we always do the Paris Island romaine. And then lastly, for the fall garden, as far as the greens and root crops go, we did we just started these Waz, Kokabu, white turnip, and the Navan yellow rutabagas. So haven't got to experience what these are like yet, but we did just plant these out into the garden as 3-inch plants. All right, I'll come back and show you guys what flowers that we have planted so far. Okay, so here is the herbs that we have started. I have the fennel that I started in the fall. And we had the dill and the cilantro reseeded itself from the spring. So I have these already going. And I will do some more cilantro and dill coming up to have a succession planting of them. And then just recently here in last month, I sowed rosemary, sage, sweet marjoram, and also a ton of basil, which I'll have to show you the basil separate because there's a lot of it. And then for flowers so far, we have sowed the zinnias, the envy, and the carousel mix. We did the Jolly Jester, and the Eskimo marigold. I've purchased these seeds before, but they did not germinate for me, so the seed packet was bad. So I am getting a lot of them germinating this time. So I'm really excited to finally get some white marigolds. Just the last couple of days, I sowed the petunia, the mixed color seed pack, and we did snapdragons. And these seeds are a couple years old. I did sow them, but I don't know, they haven't germinated yet, so I don't know if they will. The Black Prince and the Black Swan, the Snapdragon, and the Poppy. And when I first got these seeds, they germinated great, and I got a lot of beautiful flowers out of those. So hopefully a few of those seeds will germinate for me this year. And new to me is this Gold Dust Alyssum. I got this from Walmart, and all of these right here I got from Walmart, and these up here, and these here. I have grown the purple and the white, but I've never grown the gold, and these are germinating really good for me. Just started these a couple weeks back, and they are doing really well. So I'm really excited about that. I did Cosmos this year. I did the Seashells and the Dwarf Sensation. And I wanted to do the dwarf variety because, as far as I know, the regular Cosmos can get like 6-7 feet tall. So I got a mixture of those. Did a dwarf calendula, dwarf fiesta blend. So I usually do calendula, but I have not done the dwarf variety yet. So interested to see how that goes. And then I did a Painted Daisy mixed color. So that is the flowers that we have started so far, and I will show you the different basils that we've started. Okay, so here is the seed haul that I just received from Baker Creek, or rareseeds.com, and what we will be starting soon. I'm going to be starting some today and some a little later. We have tomatoes. The free tomato seed, I got 3 packs of free seeds this go around, and I got the spoon tomato, which is a pack that I received last time. So I did start some of these spoon tomatoes already, so I'll just be saving this pack for later. And I started those just a couple weeks ago. And then replacements that I got, the Dr. Witchy's yellow, I have ran out of those seeds, so I just replaced those, one of my favorite tomatoes to grow. And then I grew some of these Sartre La Rose for my fall garden, but the fall tomatoes, it's kind of a hit or miss if I'm going to be able to have them all completely ripened before the first frost. So they didn't all fully ripen. They ripened on the counter. So I'm going to be starting those again so I can see, have more time to experience them. The Rosella is new to me, and this Comstock sauce. The Rosella is, it says it has massive trusses of pink purple cherries with smoky blush, 1/2-inch fruit. And I think that on the website I read that these were not a very tall plant. They were only about 5-foot plant. And then these I got because they are a sauce variety I haven't tried before. And these are 85-day indeterminate deep red fruit. Reaches 1 pound plus, containing very few seeds. Preserved and loved by local farmers and gardeners around Comstock hometown in Weathersfield, Connecticut. A dual purpose, equally good at home canned in paste or on a fresh garden sandwich. So, gonna try that one this year. And the Sartre La Rose, just a beautiful yellow tomato, which I love yellow tomatoes, and I love purple tomatoes. That's kind of a combination of both. And this is 85 to 90 day indeterminate. It said it is tropical sweet with high antioxidant content, and it's a large beefsteak averaging 10 to 24 ounces. Winner of our 2020 taste test. So excited to start those during the spring so that I can experience those. And then for peppers, I also grew or attempted to grow these for my fall garden, but I did not have them germinate very well. So I will be growing these, the Bruna Malata. These are a chameleon light pepper, violet to pink, then orange, brown, deep red, 6 to 7 inch unique flavor. And I believe these are a sweet to mild pepper. And then these I've been wanting to try for a while, the Lisa pepper. Believed to be the sweetest of all peppers and with the thickest flesh. Lisa is a total crowd pleaser with intensely juicy texture. Plants are stocky and high yielding, and altogether rugged and easy to grow pepper. So I'm super excited about trying that. I've been wanting to try that for a while. And then I picked up this fish pepper. It has very interesting foliage. It is a striped pepper with variegated foliage. And it says it's a pre-1947 African-American heirloom that was used in fish and shellfish cookery. Fruit color with gem orange, brown, white, red, spicy, and hot. Attractive variegated foliage, superb edible or ornamental for landscaping. So excited to try that one. And I got another free seed of the datil pepper again. This is native to where I live. I live in Jacksonville. This is a native St. Augustine that we grow every year. So I have started some seeds for this already. They haven't germinated. So if they don't germinate, I'll definitely put some of these fresh seeds on there. And this is something that I grow every year. It's my favorite eggplant, the Chinese string. It's really good for sauteing and stir fry. And I used up the last few seeds planting a couple of weeks ago when I was doing my spring garden. So I just picked these up to make sure I have some on hand for next year. And then coming down to the lettuce, we have a flashy butter gem lettuce. And then this one is kind of like the igloo, but basically it's variegated. It has the purple and the green. Stunning Batavarian type is lavishly splashed in vibrant bronze purple, lovely enough for flower beds, mild crisp and slow to bolt. And then another one of my free seeds is this He-Do Tiny Bok Choy, which I've received that before. And then for my beans, I always grow the Christmas pole limas. So when I'm putting in an order with Hoss Tools or rareseeds.com, I always pick up extra one of these, and I save seeds each year. And then I won't start these until March or April. These are a very hot, weather-loving bean that they vine, and they will grow all the way until the freeze. And then this is a new one for me. The Hidatsa Red Indian Bean. It's a drying bean, 85 days, North Dakota hardy, plump rose red beans for dry use. They vine to 3-foot plants. So just wanted to try these as an extra shelling dry bean. And then over here I was going to get the Armenian cucumber, but I decided to try this one instead, just to see if I like it. It is an ancient heirloom that is botanically a melon, but is used as a cucumber, which is the same as the Armenian. Very mild and tasty when picked small. And I've seen a lot of people on the reviews that said that these were never bitter, the skins were never tough, and they resisted the squash bugs and the pickle worms. So I'm interested in trying that. And then another squash that I picked up was the Caserta, and this is another vining summer squash, and this one also is supposed to stay tender even when it gets larger, like the zucchini can get away with you. And a lot of people grow this because it's so super prolific, and we have such an issue with squash bugs and vine borers and pickle worms here that I have to start my squash super early, so anything that these vining varieties tend to be a lot more resistant to those things. And then I just picked up another golden zucchini. This is just no particular variety, just says golden. And I like to grow some of these every year in my garden, so I just got some more. And then I always get a new butternut squash type thing to try every year. So this is the Canada crookneck, and this is an Iroquois heirloom. Bottle-shaped fruit reaches 2 to 4 pounds, having a curved neck and fine-grained sweet flesh. And so these different butternut varieties, I like the ones with the longer neck because I feel like you get more meat. And I use these, and I can them, and I make pies and everything that you would use for butternut squash. And for the flowers, I've been wanting to try Gomphrena for a while. These are just a small, fluffy type flower, and I feel like they would be really cute to add to a flower bed or arrangements as a filler flower. So that's why I picked that up. And then I wanted to pick up another poppy this year, and I ended up with the Scarlet Peony poppy, which is a bright red, roughly, peony. And 98 days, fully double, 3 to 5 inches across. Good in landscapes or arrangements. So I love red flowers. So I'm really excited to grow that this year. And then I've never grown straw flowers either. So I got the tall double mix and annual, easy, fun to grow, red, pink, salmon, lemon, white, and lilac flowers. Great for drying. So I'm super excited about growing these. I've heard that they're super easy to germinate. Some of the flowers here in Florida are hard to do unless you do some stratification, because they need those consistent days of winter that we don't have. So anything like the peonies and straw flowers, zinnias, stuff like that that's easy to grow is what I normally lean on. And then I got some more basil, cardinal basil. And I have grown this in the past, and the last couple years my seeds were not germinating. So I picked up a fresh bag of seeds. I did plant some of the ones that I already had on hand to hope that they'll germinate, but I'm going to go ahead and plant some of these fresh seeds just to make sure that I get some basil, some cardinal basil. And when I grew this before, I grew it all over my garden, and it was the most gorgeous flower I've ever seen. I rarely used it for herbs, but you can, and it is it tastes sort of like in between Thai and opal basil as far as the taste of it. It's not a sweet basil at all, but just the flowers themselves, they speak for themselves, and they are definitely a great vase flower and a beautiful addition to the garden. So that is what we got there. And then I'll show you the basil that we planted out this year so far. Okay, so here's all the varieties of basil that I have already started seeds for in the last week. And these are pretty much, most of these are new seeds that I received for Christmas, and they have mostly germinated. And like I said, I started the cardinal basil, but as of yesterday it hadn't germinated yet, so I will start that again. These seeds packets that I had was from 2021, so I'll be starting some of the fresh seed to make sure I get that. The lettuce leaf basil I grew for the first time last year, and it is a very mild, sweet basil that grows really big leaves. The pests do like it, but it is definitely a staple for the garden for things like salads and lettuce wraps. So that's definitely something that I'll be growing from now on. And then the Genovese is a old standby sweet basil. We also planted this regular sweet basil and the Italian sweet basil. So I've got those 3 sweet basils. And then over here I've got the lemon and the lime basil. And also the bush spicy globe basil and the dark opal basil. I want to see distinctive deep purple foliage, wonderful fragrance, lovely in the flower garden, used in flavored vinegar, garnish, and salads. So this is kind of a licoricey taste to it, which sort of reminds me of a little bit of what the cardinal basil, I wonder if it says the cardinal basil, annual culinary basil, huge rich purple flower heads, used flowers and arrangements, and the leaves in the cooking. Doesn't say anything really about the taste of it, but it reminds me of Thai basil and a little bit of the dark purple basil. Which I didn't grow any holy basil or Thai basil. Don't have any seeds for that, but if I do come across some, I will plant that. So that is the basil that we have so far, and I will show you the summer vegetables that we have started so far. Okay, so here are some of the warm weather seeds that I have started already here in the last couple of weeks. I'll start with the peppers, and there's probably a few more peppers out there that I have started as well, but here's basically most of them. I restarted the Hidalgo poblanos, grew these last year, and the seeds are germinating great this year, already coming up, as well as the Colossus jalapeno pepper, and we mentioned the datil pepper, and the Beaver Dam hot pepper. This is the first time I'm growing it, And we also did some cayenne. The California Wonders are coming up already. We did serrano and hot lemon. And we also did the giant Marconi, which these are coming up really good. And habanero. And then what I'm really excited about, I purchased from eBay last year and then I lost them. But these are the hatch chilies. Medium heat hatch chilies. And these are coming up as well. So I'm super excited about those peppers. I still have several peppers that I'm going to be starting, including what I showed you earlier, and a couple more from my stash that I just haven't had a chance to start yet. I'm trying to succession plant some things to help me in my ability to get them planted out and up potted. So we did a beefsteak tomato. I do this bush steak hybrid I got from Walmart, and I planted it last year and I really liked it. It is a bush type determinate, maybe it's semi-determinate. Big 8 to 12 ounce fruit on a 24-inch dwarf plant. So it is a determinate, and I really liked this last year whenever I planted it because it didn't get out of control. We did the Tachi tomatoes. So these are seeds that I got from Hoss last fall whenever they did their sale on their summer tomato seeds. And this is determinate hybrid, resist nematodes, saladette, Roma type. And I've got a lot of these germinate already. We did the Saucy Lady from Hoss, determinate medium size sauce type tomato. And it's 80-day maturity. So that's another sauce variety that we've tried. The Bella Rosa I planted, and this has gotten, you know, they say one of the best determinate disease resistance package tomatoes that they grow. And so far, these have not germinated for me. They're determinate hybrid slicer, and they have their flavor and heat and spot wilt tolerant. So far I haven't got to grow these Bella Rosas, but hopefully they'll germinate for me. They might just be taking a little bit longer because of our temperature swings. And then I did the Chef's Choice Black, which I planted in fall. And I have grown the Chef's Choice Orange out of this pack. Let's see. Okay, so these are 2020 seeds. I've been planting these every year since 2020. I'm still working on that pack. And then I got these in 2020 as well. I didn't realize they were a micro tomato. So I did grow these with success back then, but I haven't grown them since. And I have tried to seed these this year to go in my new green stalk planter. And then an old favorite is the pink ox hearts and the Hungarian heart, which I purchased in 2021, and I've been growing it, and I love that tomato as well. The large red cherry, this is just the dollar store for $4 one, but it does great. This Roma tomato right here is a determinate. Got that from Walmart, and then there's also the Roma VF, which is also one that I get from the same exact variety I get from Dollar Tree and the dollar store. And then, like I said, we got the spoon tomato again, which we did try germinate a couple of those. And I did the Brad's Atomic Grape. I purchased these in 2022, and I've grown these for the last couple of years. And I really like those, so hopefully they'll germinate for me this year as well. The Blue Beauties, I grew, got these in 2022. And I think I've purchased them from somewhere else previous to that, because it seems like I've been growing them for a long time. But we have started some of those this year. The Bayou Moon, this is a seed company, Bunny Hop Seeds. The website is Heritage Seeds. And I got these because that's where I could find the Clackamas blueberry. I originally got this back in 2018 or 2017. I think it's 2018. I found these on eBay, and I grew them, and I saved the seeds for years. And they're one of my favorite all-time tomato to grow every single year. And they're a mid-sized saladette purple tomato, and they just grow in giant clusters, and they're gorgeous. So I went to find these, and this is where I found them at Heritage Seeds in 2021. And I've been planting them ever since from there. While I was on their website, I picked up these Bayou Moons, which are a yellow greenish striped mid-size indeterminate. And I don't have the package here, but there's another one called Moldovan Green, which is a green tomato that I got from the same site that I planted a few days ago. So moving on to the squash, we did the winter squash. We just tried these last year, and I love these. They did very well. The zucchini rapicante, so I replanted those. I replanted some Seminole pumpkins. These have reseeded themselves for the last couple of years, so I haven't had to replant these. I got these back in 2021 at a garden seed shop, a little boutique, and so we'll see if they germinate this year. I did some more spaghetti squash, the Peter Pan F1 summer squash. I got these back in 2022, and I've been planting them. Planted them in 22 and 23. They did great, and they've already come up this year. This first winter squash to come up in the greenhouse, so I'm really excited about these. These do awesome for me. They're a green, nutty flavored summer squash, patty pan summer squash. And then I just did your run-of-the-mill dark green zucchini. And for yellow squash, I did the slick pick from Haas. Originally got these in 2023 last year. They did amazing. And I'm out of seeds now, so I'll have to order some more next summer or next spring. And then I did some white bush scallop summer squash. So that's pretty much most of what I have started for 2024 garden, as far as the warm weather, my basil herbs, and my winter cold spring items. So I will show you guys the greenhouse here in a little bit, and let you know how things are going in the garden. So real quick, I wanted to mention some of these other peppers that I haven't started yet that I purchased last year that I'll be starting again. I actually purchased these back in 20 or 21. Anyways, they're the Guajillo peppers. And I love these peppers. They are very good to eat green, young, or for drying. These are famously used to make enchilada sauces and a lot of the other Mexican cuisine sauces. And chili de arbo is one that I purchased last year. So this is a very prolific red mild chili. Translates to tree chili in Spanish. This cute pepper packs heat. It's about 6 times hotter than a jalapeno. And it says, let the pepper dry until the stem is wood-like for maximum flavor. Make sure to coat with a bit of oil and get the smoky, nutty flavor from the pepper. This is a popular ingredient in salsa. So I am still, mine overwintered, and it is still going. And I've made pepper sauce and used this in a lot of dishes. So I really like that, and I want to start some more. The other one is the Pasilla Bajo, or Bajío. I'm sure I'm butchering that. But it's another one that is famous in the Mexican cuisine. And it says a true Mexican cuisine favorite. Pasilla translates to little raisin, fitting to its ripe appearance of slightly wrinkled fruits that mature with a deep brown hue. Highly productive plants produce peppers that are smoky, sweet, and not extremely spicy. Great dehydrated and used for mole, salsa, and more. So I want to grow those again. And the lemon spice pepper jalapenos, I'm going to try to germinate these. I have the orange ones and the lemon spice. I got these seeds back in 2021. So I'm not sure if they'll germinate. I haven't grown these. I didn't grow these last year because I had so many peppers, but I want to try to start a few of those this year. And then another favorite that I actually went hunting for on the internet are these large red cherry tomatoes, or large red cherry hot peppers. And I picked these up from Mountain Valley Seeds, and these are the cherry hot pickled peppers that you can get from like Jimmy John's and other sandwich shops. And they are mildly hot. They're a stuffing pepper traditionally used to stuff olives. And with a rating of 2,500 to 5,000 Scovilles, the large cherry delivers both the crisp heat and sweetness, all inside a 1 to 2 inch long bright red mini bell pepper. So I did grow a couple, about 3 of these pepper plants last year, and they did wonderful for me. And I pickled a lot of them. So I am going to try to grow a few more of those. And something else I didn't mention that I definitely wanted to mention is last year, so I have tried a lot of different seed starting mixes and seed starting trays. And last year, and they just don't hold up most of the time, these trays, more than a season without starting to crack. But last year, I tried these Burpee Super Seed pop-out trays, and I got the 36 cell, and then I also got a 8-pack of the 16 cell, because they also sell this in just the 8-pack, so it's half of what the 16 cell is, but it has the same size extra large cells. So this would be equivalent to what your normal 6-pack cell would look like from a nursery. They're pretty big cells. So I tried these out last year, and I got 1 of each, and I really, really love them more than any ones I tried. This next season came around, and they were still in exactly the condition that they were when I started using them last spring. And they have a very thick bottom tray, and they're made out of pretty durable plastic. And the really attractive thing about this, besides being, let me take this off. Besides being really durable and having this durable tray underneath, is that you plant the seedlings, and then you can just pop them out very easily with a silicone bottom. So I did buy some of these from Amazon as part of their little 12-pack trays. They had the little 12-pack trays like this that had the silicone bottoms. They did not hold up like the Burpees did. I have a lot of them that the bottom silicone piece broke, cracked, dry rotted, and fell off. But the Burpee seeds did not. I really like the concept of them. The ones that are still holding up I'm using, but the Burpee ones have been perfect. So I have invested in a few more of these this spring, and a couple of these 16 cell trays. And what I do is I seed a few seeds in each one of these cells when I'm doing smaller seeds like peppers, flowers, tomatoes, things like that, eggplants. And then I will, once they germinate, I'll put them in the individual, I'll transplant them to 1 plant per cell, which saves me a lot of time and energy. And then when my tomatoes get ready to be bumped up before they go out to the garden, then I bump them up to this larger 2-inch extra large tray. So the ideal for these 16 cell trays is to hold tomato starts that have been bumped up, or to possibly hold squash or other larger seeded vegetables. So right now at Walmart, these are $11.22 in Jacksonville each, no matter if you get either one. I saw them at Home Depot a couple days ago, and they were $12.96 a piece. But right now Amazon is matching the $11.22 that my Walmart has. So I have been purchasing these. I purchased a set from Walmart, and also have purchased a couple of sets from Amazon. So for $11.22 for a seed tray that holds this many seeds, that is going to hold up for more than one season, and it's going to be very easy on your seedlings and very easy to pop out of the tray when you get ready to transplant them without much damage. I think that's a pretty good deal. They don't come with domes. They just come with the bottom trays and the seed cells. So check those out if you haven't tried those, or if you're looking for something like this, check out Amazon or Walmart. You might even find them at Lowe's right now, that everything is put out for spring planting. But that is something else I wanted to mention to you guys. Well, we didn't get to the garden or the greenhouse today, so I'm going to go ahead and upload this video. It's long enough, and then maybe in the next couple days I'll get to the greenhouse and the garden update.